Serbian president rejects calls for sanctions against Russia.
Here's a summary of the article.
Belgrade, Serbia. Serbia's president said Wednesday that the European Union's calls for his country to join sanctions against Russia over the war in Ukraine represent a brutal interference in the internal affairs of the Balkan state, which has asked to join the EU. In his wide-ranging year-end address to the nation, Alexander Vučić praised his and his country's economic and political achievements, comparing himself to a wolf who cannot be tamed under international pressure. Although formally seeking EU membership, Serbia has repeatedly ignored calls to align its foreign policies with the 27-nation bloc, including joining international sanctions against Moscow over the war in Ukraine. There are increasing suggestions from EU member states that Serbia's membership bid should be suspended until it complies with the bloc's foreign policies. Advertisement. Serbia remains the only European country besides Belarus that has refused to introduce sanctions against Russia, its Slavic ally. Russia has been supporting Serbia's claim over its former province of Kosovo, which declared independence in 2008 with Western support. Vučić said that ranking US and EU officials will be visiting Serbia in the next few days to discuss possible solutions to the tensions over Kosovo, which ran high in the past weeks with Serbia deploying troops to the mutual border. Northern Kosovo has a sizable ethnic Serb minority.
This post received a score of 8,200, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Serbia is currently under sanctions by OPEC. I work for an aircraft fueling company and we cannot sell fuel to any entity in Serbia or Russia due to those sanctions. I am unsure they have requested to join NATO though.
Serbian NATO candidacy would almost certainly never happen. Serbs despise the alliance due to its intervention in the Yugoslav wars. It's also a problem for NATO candidate Bosnia, whose Serb minority continues to agitate against NATO membership.
Oh, course he did. ?
For additional context, Alexander Vučić was the Minister of Information under Slobodan Milosevic's regime in the 90s. It's how he got his start in politics. He will always align with Putin, Russia against the West.
Imagine Goebbels surviving WW2, the Nuremberg trials, and then being elected president of Germany for 12 years. Vučić is as much guilty as Milosevic. Together with his dogs Vulin, Dasic and some other shit faces.
That's exactly it. The scary part is the opposition in Serbia has no freaking answer for this fish-lipped MFKR. He has overwhelming support from most Serbians and they are as delusional as he is when it comes to how the rest of the world views them.
The opposition has an answer but needs support. As to Vučić's numbers, 33% of the total voting body elected him in April. Take away the electoral fraud, propaganda and party blackmail and he would be hanging from a tree in a matter of weeks.
Thank God Serbian president isn't in the EU. We got already one Russian mole president there, no need for another.
No appetite for Hungary.
I'm hungry for Turkey.
Finished with Greece. Ah, sweet bliss.
Were you wearing a Paraguay socks at the time and eating hot chili?
In a fine china bowl, absolutely.
He knows which side his pogacha is buttered on.
I guess so, but one day Serbia should look at a map and realize they'd be a lot better off allying themselves with the EU than with Russia. The invasion of Ukraine should be an obvious sign that Russia doesn't care about pan-Slavism. Irrespective of Serbia's relationship with Russia, they can't join the EU until they recognize Kosovo as a sovereign state, which they will never do. This leaves China and Russia as other geopolitical allies.
Yup, they get to join the Axis by default just because of their ethnic hatred.
Vu, I, just being Putin's little bitch.
Greater than Vu? I, just being Putin's little bit? FTFY.
I think just by would make the right sound but bit looks funnier.
Serbia can go to bed together with Russia since EU most likely will not want another agitator within its rank.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.